I met a man without $1 to his name, who had no traits of any value but his smile. I met a man who had no yearn or claim to fame, who was content to let life pass him for a while. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life like the movie stars led. But he kissed me right here and he said, I'll give you stars and the moon and a soul to guide you, and a promise I'll never go. I'll give you hope to bring out all the life inside you and the strength that will help you grow. I'll give you truth and a future that's 20 times better than any Hollywood plot. And I thought, I'd rather have a yacht. I met a man who lived his life out on the road, who left a wife and kids in Portland on a whim. I met a man whose fire and passion always showed, who asked if I could spare a week to ride with him. And I was sure that all I ever wanted was a life that was scripted and planned. And he said, but you don't understand. I'll give you stars and the moon and the open highway and a river beneath your feet. I'll give you days full of dreams if you travel my way, and a summer you can't repeat. I'll give you nights full of passion, days of adventure, no strings, just warm summer rain. And I thought, I'd rather have champagne. I met a man who had a fortune in the bank, who had retired at age 30, set for life. I met a man and didn't know which stars to thank, and then he asked one day if I would be his wife. And I looked up, and all that I could think of was the life I had dreamt I would live. And I said to him, what will you give? I'll give you cars and a townhouse in Turtle Bay and a fur and a diamond ring. And we'll be married in Spain on my yacht today, and we'll honeymoon in Beijing. And we'll meet stars at the parties I throw at my villas in Nice and Paris in June. And I thought, okay. And I took a breath, and I got my yacht, and the years went by, and it never changed, and it never grew, and I never dreamed. And I woke one day, and I looked around, and I thought, my God, I'll never have the moon.
Isn't there one thing that strikes you as strange in our sitting here like this?
What is that?
We have been married now 8 years. Does it not occur to you that this is the first time we two, you and I, husband and wife, have had a serious conversation?
What do you mean by serious?
In all these 8 years, longer than that, from the very beginning of our acquaintance, we have never exchanged a word on any serious subject.
Was it likely that I would be continually and forever telling you about worries that you could not help me to bear?
I'm not speaking about business matters. I say that we have never sat down in earnest together to try and get to the bottom of anything.
Dearest Nora, would that be any good to you?
That is just it. You have never understood me, Torvald. I have been greatly wronged. First by Papa and then by you.
By us two. By us two who have loved you better than anyone else in the world.
You have never loved me. You have only thought it pleasant to be in love with me.
Nora, what do I hear you saying?
It is perfectly true, Torvald. When I was at home with Papa, he told me his opinion about everything, and so I had the same opinions. And if I differed with him, I concealed it because he would not have liked it. He called me his doll child, and he played with me just as I used to play with my dolls. And when I came to live with you...
What sort of an expression is that to have about our marriage?
I mean that I was simply transferred from Papa's hands into yours. You arranged everything according to your own taste, and so I got the same tastes as you. Or else I pretended to. I'm not really quite sure which. I think sometimes the one and sometimes the other. When I look back on it, it seems to me as if I had been living here like a poor woman, just from hand to mouth. I have existed merely to perform tricks for you, Torvald, but you would have it so.
How unreasonable and how ungrateful you are, Nora. Have you not been happy here?
No, I've never been happy. I thought I was, but it has never really been so.
Not happy.
No, only merry. You have always been so kind to me. But our home has been nothing but a playroom. I have been your doll wife, just as I was at home at Papa's, his doll child. I thought it great fun when you played with me. That is what our marriage has been, Torvald.
There is some truth in what you say, exaggerated and strained as your view is. But for the future, it shall be different. Playtime shall be over and lesson time shall begin.
I must try and educate myself. You are not the man to help me in that. I must do that for myself. And that is why I'm going to leave you.
What do you say? What sort of madness is this to desert your home, your husband, and your children? And you don't consider what people will say.
I cannot consider that at all. I only know that it is necessary for me.
It's shocking that you would neglect your most sacred duties.
What do you consider my most sacred duties?
Do I need to tell you that? Are they not to your husband and to your children?
I have other duties just as sacred.
That you have not. What duties could those be?
Duties to myself.
Before all else, you are a wife and a mother.
I don't believe that any longer. I believe that before all else, I am a reasonable human being, just as you are. Or, at all events, that I must try and become one. I know quite well, Torvald, that most people would think you right, and that views of that kind are to be found in books, but I can no longer content myself with what most people say or what is found in books. I must think over things for myself and get to know them.
You talk like a child. You don't understand the conditions of the world in which you live.
No, I don't. But now I'm going to try. I am going to see if I can make out who is right, the world or I.
You are ill, Nora. You are delirious. I almost think you are out of your mind.
I have never felt my mind so clear and certain as tonight.
And it is with a clear and certain mind that you forsake your husband and your children?
Yes, it is.
Then there's only one possible explanation.
What is that?
You do not love me anymore.
No. That is just it.
Nora, and you can say that?
It gives me great pain, Torvald. For you have always been so kind to me, but I cannot help it. I do not love you anymore.
Is that a clear and certain conviction too?
Yes. Absolutely clear and certain. That is the reason why I will not stay here any longer.
And can you tell me what I have done to forfeit your love?
Yes. Indeed I can. It was tonight, when the wonderful thing did not happen. Then I saw you were not the man I had thought you were.
Explain yourself better. I don't understand you.
I have waited so patiently for 8 years. For goodness knows, I knew very well that wonderful things don't happen every day. Then this horrible misfortune came upon me, and then I felt quite certain that the wonderful thing was going to happen at last. When Krogstad's letter was lying out there, never for a moment did I imagine that you would consent to accept this man's conditions. I was so absolutely certain that you would say to him, publish the whole thing to the world. And when that was done...
Yes, what then? When I had exposed my wife to shame and disgrace.
When that was done, I was so absolutely certain that you would come forward and take everything upon yourself and say, I am the guilty one.
Nora!
You mean that I never would have accepted such a sacrifice on your part? No, of course not. What would my assurances have been worth against yours? That was the wonderful thing which I had hoped for and feared.
I would gladly work night and day for you, Nora. Bear sorrow and want for your sake. But no man would sacrifice his honor for the one he loves.
It is a thing hundreds of women do every day.
Oh, you think and talk like a heedless child.
Maybe. But you neither think nor talk like the man I could bind myself to. As soon as your fear was over, and it was not fear for what threatened me, but for what might happen to you when the whole thing was past, as far as you were concerned, it was exactly as if nothing at all had happened. Exactly as before, I was your little skylark, your doll, which you in future treat with doubly gentle care, because it was so brittle and fragile. Torvald, it was then it dawned upon me that for 8 years I have been living here with a strange man and had borne him 3 children. Oh, I can't bear to think of it. I could tear myself into little bits.
Nora, not now. Wait until tomorrow.
Goodbye, Torvald. I will not see the little ones. I know they are in better hands than mine. As I am now, I can be of no use to them.
But someday, Nora, someday...
How can I tell? I have no idea what is going to become of me.
Nor shall you never think of me again?
I know I shall think often of you and the children in this house.
Can I never be anything more than a stranger to you?
Torvald, the most wonderful thing of all would have to happen.
Tell me what that would be.
Both you and I would have to be so changed that... Torvald, I don't believe any longer in wonderful things happening.
But I believe in it. Tell me, so changed that
our life would have to be a real wedlock. Goodbye.
Nora. Empty. She is gone.
There's a man who's been out sailing in a decade full of dreams, and he takes her to a schooner, and he treats her like a queen, bearing beads from California with their amber stones and green. He has called her from the harbor, he has kissed her with his freedom, he has heard her off to starboard in the breaking and the breathing of the water weed. And she was somewhere being free. There's a man who's climbed a mountain and he's calling out her name, and he hopes her heart can hear. 3,000 miles he calls again. He can think her there beside him, he can miss her just the same. He has missed her in the forest while he showed her all the flowers, and the branches sang the chorus as he climbed the scaly towers of a forest tree. And she's so busy being free. There's a man who sent a letter and he's waiting for a reply. He has asked her of her travels since the day they said goodbye. He writes, wish you were beside me, we can make it if we try. He has seen her at the office with her name on all his papers. Through the sharing of the profits, he will find it hard to shake her from his memory. And she's so busy being free. There's a lady in the city and she thinks she loves them all. There's the one who's thinking of her, there's the one who sometimes calls, there's the one who writes her letters with his facts and figures scrawl. She has brought them to her senses, they have laughed inside her laughter. Now she rallies her defenses, for she fears that one will ask her for eternity. And she's so busy being free. There's a man who sends her medals, he is bleeding from the war. There's a jouster and a jester and a man who owns a store. There's the drummer and a dreamer, and you know there might be more. She will love them when she sees them, they will lose her if they follow, and she only means to please them, and her heart is full and hollow like a cactus tree. And she's so busy being free, like a cactus tree.
Heart, don't fail me now. Courage, don't desert me. Don't turn back now that we're here. People always say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions fear or how the world can seem so vast. On a journey to the past. Somewhere down this road, I know someone's waiting. Years of dreams just can't be wrong. Arms will open wide, I'll be safe and wanted. Finally home where I belong. Well, starting now, I'm learning fast on this journey to the past. Home, love, family. There was once a time I must have had them too. Home, love, family. I will never be complete until I find you. One step at a time, one hope then another. Who knows where this road may go? Back to who I was, on to find my future. Things my heart still needs to know. Yes, let this be a sign. Let this road be mine. Let it lead me to my past and bring me home at last.
Why should I love this gentleman? 'Tis odds, he never will affect me. I am base. My father, the mean keeper of his prison, and he a prince. To marry him is hopeless. To be his whore is witless. Out upon it! What pushes are we wenches driven to when 15 once has found us? First, I saw him. I, seeing, thought he was a goodly man. He has as much to please a woman in him, if he pleased to bestow it so, as ever these eyes yet looked on. Next, I pitied him, and so would any young wench of my conscience that ever dreamed or bowed her maidenhead to a young, handsome man. Then I loved him, extremely loved him, infinitely loved him. And yet he had a cousin, fair is he too, but in my heart was Palamon, and there, Lord, what a coil he keeps, to hear him sing in an evening, what a heaven it is. And yet his songs are sad ones. Fair spoken was never gentleman. When I come in to bring him water in a morning, first he bows his noble body, then salutes me thus: fair gentle maid, good morrow, may thy goodness get thee a happy husband. Once he kissed me. I loved my lips the better 10 days after. Would he would do so every day. He grieves much, and me as much to see his misery. What should I do to make him know I love him? For I would fain enjoy him. Say I venture to set him free. What says the law then? Thus much for law or kindred. I will do it, and this night, or tomorrow, he shall love me. question. It might seem strange. How are your lungs? Are they in pain? 'Cause mine are aching. Think I know why. I kinda like it though. You wanna try? Oh, would you be so kind as to fall in love with me? You see, I'm trying. I know you know that I like you, but that's not enough. So if you will, please fall in love. I think it's only fair. There's gotta be some butterflies somewhere. Wanna share 'cause I like you, but that's not enough. So if you will, please fall in love with me. Let's write a story. Be in my book. You gotta join me on my page. At least take a look. Oh, where are your manners? You need some time. Let's watch us today. That might help you decide. Oh, would you be so kind as to fall in love with me? You see, I'm trying. I know you know that I like you, but that's not enough. So if you will, please fall in love. I think it's only fair. There's gotta be some butterflies somewhere. Wanna share 'cause I like you, but that's not enough. So if you will, please fall in love with me. Do me a favor, can your heart rate rise a little? Do me a favor, can your heart rate rise a little? Would you be so kind as to fall in love with me? You see, I'm trying. I know you know that I like you, but that's not enough. So if you will, please fall in love. I think it's only fair. There's gotta be some butterfly somewhere. Wanna share 'cause I like you, but that's not enough. So if you will, please fall in love with me.
Maybe this time I'll be lucky. Maybe this time he'll stay. Maybe this time, for the first time, love won't hurry away. He will hold me fast. I'll be home at last. Not a loser anymore, like the last time and the time before. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's gonna happen sometime. Maybe this time I'll win. Everybody loves a winner, so nobody loved me. Lady peaceful, lady happy, that's what I long to be. All the odds are they're in my favor. Something's bound to begin. It's I'm sorry, can we stop? For a second. I just feel like I have to say something. This piece that I'm doing for class, it's exactly what I should be doing. I'm terrified, okay? Because my piece is real. It's not a character, it's me. Raw, unapologetic truth with a capital T. Well, all caps, actually. I'm thinking like a writer now. I mean, this was stuff that I couldn't even talk about without lying. And here I am, about to strip naked in front of a bunch of strangers and share something that I am massively ashamed of. Well, not literally. I don't believe in nudity unless it drives the story forward. I'm afraid they're gonna judge me, and I'm afraid Sam's gonna find out and do something crazy. But I have to do this. It's my story to tell. But then, I mean, so many other women have the same story. What, am I a spokesperson for them now? Could I be the face of a movement? I mean, what if I get it wrong? I mean, I resent the fact that Nick can get up there and talk about his stomach condition, and it's not like he has to be the poster boy for bulimia. But I get up there, and whatever I say, it's like, oh, well, what are we saying about women? It's just my story. But what if you get it wrong, Sally? I don't know, but you can't not tell it either, Sally, because it's who you are. Which makes this thing that my agent sent me on today so fucking insulting. Payback, ladies? It's just another shit male idea of what strong women are. Oh, go grab a gun and some stilettos and get a goddamn blowout. And look how strong you are now, Sally. It's bullshit. Which, by the way, so is this. It's quite possibly the worst thing I've ever read. But do you want to know the worst part? You want to know what's really driving me fucking crazy? I am so jealous that you're reading for this. I have never had a director session for a feature, which is the same thing as a movie, PS, and I have been doing this way longer. And I think you'd agree that I am way better. I made you. And I'm actually represented by Gersh. Well, I was. I don't even know if they'd rep me anymore after what I said in there today, but still, at least I held my ground because I am an artist, okay? An artist. And this is not fucking art. But I mean, of course, I'm so happy for you, and I want you to get this part, and I want to be the one to help you learn your lines and fix your inflections, but I need you to know that if you do get it, it's gonna make me like 100 times more insane, okay? Continue.
Look for the silver lining whene'er a cloud appears in the blue. Remember, somewhere remember somewhere the sun is shining, and so the right thing to do is make it shine for you. A heart full of joy and gladness will always banish sadness and strife. So always look for the silver lining and try to find the sunny side of life.
Easy to do, that's what they say. Why are you waiting to pick up the phone, blast off a text? Stop this debating. The people you love, they need to know. Don't even try, you can't defend it. Telling my mom, seeing the look, that's what I am dreading. And don't forget Dad starting to cry, announcing my wedding. Just saying the word shatters their dream. What if I'm not able to mend it? But I know the longer I wait, the harder it gets. So try to stick to the plan. Be true to myself, I'll have no regrets. Still, I keep feeling they'll think I'm just a little bit less than. If they don't ask and I don't tell, they miss the best of me. When I deny part of my life, I risk the rest of me. Sure, I can pass, keep up the show. Deep down I know it's time to end it. And the longer I wait, the harder it gets. So better stick to the plan. Be true to myself, I'll have no regrets. Don't be afraid that they'll think I'm just a little bit less than. Strangers I'll meet, friends from before. Step to the edge, walk through the door. No one is gonna stop me anymore. Silence isn't golden, speak up right away. Bring those surprises to light. You know a life built on lies is just not right. The longer you wait, the harder it gets to tell them. The more you pretend, the more they've a right to condemn. Be true to yourself, you'll have no regrets if you believe you can. Announce it by decree. Let loose till all be free. If I don't, I'll really be a little bit less than.
Hard as it is in the coming days, I watch my friend in her strange, unnatural state. Don't let her out of my sight. She trails off, stares at nothing, laughs at random, and the letters come. She waits by the window, and I listen at the door until one day I see by the sad look on her face there's a dreadful plan in her heart. I know you are capable of
I know you might just throw yourself over, but I won't let you. No, I won't let you. It's all on me. And I remember this family. I remember their kindness. And if I never sleep again, I will stand in the dark for you. I will hold you back by force. I will stand here right outside your door. I won't see you disgraced. I will protect your name and your heart because I miss my friend. Because I miss my friend. Because I miss you, my friend. The world is quiet now. And the world is healing. Finally given a chance to recover. I set about digging a garden, and it blooms. Oh, how it blooms. I tend to seedlings like they were my children. Ancient varieties and new strains. And the air is cool. And the sun is pale and low. And I am not alone. No, some survived. Some stragglers who couldn't bear to have their mortal flesh uploaded. And now, so many generations on, have no idea of everything they lost. Or the role I played. But they come to me, sometimes. The woman in the woodland who seems older than her years, who knows things she couldn't possibly know, and they ask me, how did you do that? And how did you grow that one? And I tell them how my mother taught me and how I'd gladly do the same for them. And they're grateful. For the most part. They're grateful. And I am grateful for them. In the moments I forget myself and I'm just another woman in the woods.
My mind is clear now. At last, all too well, I can see where we all soon will be. If you strip away the myth from the man, you will see where we all soon will be. Jesus! You started to believe the things they say of you. You really do believe this talk of God is true. And all the good you've done will soon get swept away. You've begun to matter more than the things you say. Listen, Jesus, I don't like what I see. All I ask is that you when we find they're wrong. I remember when this whole thing began. No talk of God, then we called you a man. And believe me, my admiration for you hasn't died. But every word you say today gets twisted round some other way. And they'll hurt you if they think you've lied. Nazareth, your famous son, should have stayed a great unknown. Like his father carving wood, he'd have made good. Tables, chairs, and oaken chests would have suited Jesus best. He'd have caused nobody harm, no one alarm. Listen, Jesus, do you care for your race? Can't you see we must keep in our place? We are occupied. Have you forgotten how far down we are? I am frightened by the crowd, for we are getting much too loud. Crush us if we go too far. If we go too far. Listen, Jesus, to the warning I give. Can't you see that I want us to live? But it's sad to see our chances weakening with every hour. Your followers are blind. They've too much heaven on their minds. It was beautiful, but now it's sour. Yes, it's all God's son.
I said to feel again. That's the miracle of it. Fairies aren't real, but the feeling is. And it comes to us, here, player and groundling alike, again and again, here. Your favorite story just ended? Come back tomorrow, we'll play it again. Don't like the story you're in? A different one starts in an hour. Come here. Come again. Feel here. Feel again. History walks here. Love is lived here. Loss is met and wept for and understood and survived here. And not for the first time, but every time. We play love's first look and life's last here every day. And you will see yourself in it, or your fear or your future, before the play's end. And you will test your heart against trouble and joy. And every time you will feel a flicker or a fountain of feeling that reminds you that yes, you are yet living. And that is more than God gives you in his ample silence. And then it ends. And we players stand up and we look to the gathered crowd and we bow. Because the story was told well enough. And it's time for another.
There was something in a desert. There was some place wild and green. And a child in a village I passed through. There are places that I've traveled, and so many things I've seen, and it all fades away, but you. I was sliding down
mountain. I was burning in the sun. I was crying with amazement at the view. I was capturing the moment, but when all is said and done, well, it all fades away, but you. It all fades away. It all fades away. It all fades away, but you. I have sailed across the oceans, past the cities and the farms, on a never-ending quest for something new. And the only things that mattered were the 4 days in your arms, 'cause it all fades away, but you. It all fades away. It all fades away. It all fades away, but you. There is one thing that's eternal, that cannot be torn apart. There is one thing that remains forever true. Past the thinking, past the breathing, past the beating of my heart, it will all fade away, but you. It all fades away. It all fades away. It all fades away, but you. It all fades away. It all fades away. It all fades away, but you. But you. It is not the fashion to see the lady, the epilogue, but it is no more unhandsome than to see the lowered, the prologue. If it be true that good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that good plays need no epilogue. Yet, to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better with the help of good epilogues. What a case am I in, then, that am neither a good epilogue, nor cannot insinuate with you in the behalf of a good play. I am not furnished like a beggar. Therefore, to beg will not become me.
My way is to conjure you. And I'll begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as by your simpering I perceive that none of you hate them, that between you and the women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And I am sure as many as have good beards, or good faces, or sweet breaths, will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.